After 2 long weeks of being under fire for calling his longtime friend and previous label mate Jamie a derogatory name, Jay Park has made it his personal mission to right his wrongs, not just to Jamie, but also to the public as well. We're going to talk about it. On January 20th, 2022, Jamie took to Twitter to air out the mess that had occurred over the past few weeks. Now, if you haven't seen my video explaining what happened, I highly suggest you go check it out to catch yourself up. This video will only be focusing on Jamie's second response to the drama. Her first response was just as shocked as the rest of the world, which leads me to believe that's why Jay made it his business to go to Jamie's house and apologize to her up front, seeing as maybe the first, internet apology didn't smooth things over like he thought it would. So, in a series of tweets that were released addressing the formal apology, this is what Jamie had to say. Jay came by the other day. We had a talk. He apologized for his words and mistake. If anyone knows about Jay as a friend or close person, you would know he wasn't meaning that as what he said. He promised me he would use his words wisely, and I appreciate it. This is interesting. So he wasn't meaning that she's a thought like how he said it. Like, I don't know what other way you could use that word other than what it's intended to be used as. But okay, girl, defend him if you must. She goes on to say, out of all the mistakes, just a wake up call for Jay and for his future. I do really want him to go for the right direction. And as a friend, I wanted him to know this is something he needs to rethink and put in action. I told him everything about how I felt, and he felt awful about it. Okay, well, good for you, girl. I'm glad that you laid out your feelings on the table for him and you held him accountable for what he did. I'm glad that she didn't just let him go by, so easy with this, seeing as, we can all tell and see that her feelings were hurt by this. So she goes on to say, so for everyone and all the fans who also got hurt, he wanted to let me and you guys he will never make a mistake or even a joke about something that is very serious. I'm guessing she meant to say he wanted to let me know and you guys he will never make a mistake or even a joke about something that is very serious. And then she says that's what friends are for, right? And I understand, they've been friends for a really long time. That makes sense, that she's just, gonna be there for him and she's so willing to forgive him. She wraps it up by saying, so at EJ Park, I'ma smack you if you do that one more time. So here she's being very jokingly and she's just trying to let everybody know that, at this point it's water under the bridge. Now, I don't know, you guys, what do you think about this? I mean, she's defending him now. Well, not defending what he said, but just basically trying to let you guys know that, hey, he's apologized to me. I am okay with it now. Don't be mad at him. Well, she didn't come out and say, like, don't be mad at him, but she's just basically trying to, like, I guess win you guys' favor and not being mad at him. I don't know. What do you think? I think a lot of people see who he is as a person, and I think he just like further canceled himself. I don't know if her coming out and like saying that everything's okay now will uncancel him. I don't know. It just seems like he's really shown his true colors and people are kind of like done with him. Of course, I know he's going to have some supporters and people who are going to defend him restlessly, but I don't know. I'm just curious to see what you guys think about it. Literally, like, do you think that this apology was genuine or was he just trying to save face? Like, Jay said that he's happy to be out of K-pop, but he still wants to pursue a career as a soloist of some sort. So at the very least, a streamer. So I would hope that his apology was for the intent of mending their friendship, not just for his public reputation. I still am just kind of disgusted with the way he went on and talked about her in the original stream. After I posted my first video on it, everything started to kind of marinate in my brain, and I just started to think about what type of person Jay really is. Like these celebrities only show you one face, like the face that they want you to see, and then occasionally they get so comfortable in the limelight that they end up, slipping up, and they let us in on who they really are and what their thoughts really are. I'm not saying people can't change, but they will show you who they are. And I don't know him personally, and I'm not into like tearing people down, at least not without valid reason. Um and I do feel that Jamie did absolutely nothing wrong to him, nothing to warrant that type of attention. I don't think she did anything but be a good friend to him, at least publicly. And like I said, if they joked like that, then that's okay. But, you know, if they did joke around like that, like calling each other's names, then Jamie would have defended him initially. She would have been like, oh, you guys don't worry about that. That's just how we joke. He's a bleep word or he's a this word. She would have like fired back at him. But the fact is that her response showed immediate confusion and hurt. And that let me know that he had crossed a line. So, and then his post, like the stream, it was also giving like jealousy in a way. Like, oh yeah, she's a good singer and all that, but like whenever somebody starts their sentence off with a backhanded compliment and then it leads with a but, you just know that there's gonna be some shady stuff said right after that. So I don't know if he's just like crapping on her because she's a better singer than him, which she is. Like Jamie has pipes she can blow. So if he's like trying to crap on her by mentioning something that just has to do with something like derogatory, like the way she looks, then yeah, that's a cheap low blow. And that's also like given like sus. But anyways, I digress. According to all Kpop, netizens have created and joined an online forum where they discussed how they felt about Jamie's tweets, and this is what they had to say. She's so nice. I guess they're trying to say, I got so mad when hearing him say that word so proudly and go on to laugh out loud. Yeah, that was annoying. Like, he thought he was funny. And nobody else laughed with him. So, like, he was literally like a one-man band. They go on to say, yeah, he was then saying, yeah, I said it and knew it was a bad word since he said he can say it now that he's not an idol anymore. Yeah, it's like he was just waiting to, like, strip away from the idol title, but it's like, dude, you're still in the public eye. Like, you still have to watch what you say. Like I said before, like, his fans didn't just automatically disappear. Like, no, they're still following you. They liked you for a reason, and they're gonna try to support you, but not like that, or at least I would hope so. They go on to say Jimin Jamie is such a nice person. They also say, I don't know if I would be able to forgive my friend if they said that I was a thought on live broadcast. Yeah, that's tough, especially since they don't play like that. Like, even if like my friends and I did play like that, like I wouldn't want them to say that. Like, if we were both like celebrities, I wouldn't want them to say stuff like that online. And even if they did, I don't know, that we would probably have to have a conversation. But for me personally, if we did play like that and they said that online, I would have probably fired back in a way that like would equally like show them like, hey, I'm not backing down from you. But again, like Jamie and Jay don't play like that apparently. Like, they don't talk to each other like that. So he was literally crossing a line there. For what? Again, I feel like it was clout, but moving on. They also say she's such a good person, which is true. Yeah, she's a good person, and she's like easy on him and like letting it go, especially like if your friend is coming to your home and like coming to your face and looking you in your eyes and saying like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, that is a huge step. So I can see why she forgave him. But she's like way nicer than me. But they've also had like history, like a long history of being friends. So that just goes to show that even though she's younger than him and she's more mature out of the two, that just goes to show like age doesn't equal experience. Is something I love to say, because like people's ages exploit them so much. Like, just because you're this age doesn't mean that you are an experienced person or you're like a better person. So, and we all know that he's older than her, so in Jay's case, like, that statement is like purely a fact. So now I wanted to look at the comment section to see what you guys felt about this situation, and this is what some of you had to say. I'm glad he wasn't just apologizing on air to save face and literally met up with her. Same. He better count his blessings that she even forgave him. She's a great person and a darn good friend to do so, and I really hope he means what he says and takes this as a learning lesson and never makes the mistake again. She clearly cares about him and his well-being, and I really hope this opened his eyes. And I agree. Someone else replied, TBF, I think most people would accept an apology from a dear friend of theirs about something like this. He claimed he didn't know the meaning. She obviously believed him. Get out of here. He knew what that meant. Okay, he's manipulating her. If he really gonna sit there and lie and say he didn't know the meaning, like he does know the meaning. He literally said like, "Oh, now that I'm not in K-pop, I can say this." Like he knew that the meaning would not be that he knew that that word would not be accepted if he was still tied to JYP, and he knew that there would be like major backlash from his label because of him saying that word. So he waited until he was an independent artist, somebody who's not technically associated with K-pop, to say that. Like he knew what it meant because he waited for the perfect time to say it. Why he targeted his friend, I don't know. He probably felt like, oh yeah, that's a safe route to go, and if she gets mad, I can just tell her, oh, I didn't mean it, it was a joke, I didn't know what I was talking about. Like he knew what he was doing. Ugh, that just makes me feel icky. Like I don't know about this guy. I really don't know about this guy. But I'm gonna continue reading. This person says, in that situation, I think most people wouldn't say goodbye to years of big friendship. I'm not one of those people because I am very good at walking away from somebody. You do me wrong or you give me a bad taste in my mouth, I will chuck up the deuces very quick. I don't need that energy. And if I feel like I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Like, no, you can walk right out of my life and I will be just fine thriving with my blood family. Like, at the end of the day, that's who keeps me going, my family. So friends, as much as I love friends, I don't have a problem with switching them out like this season. I really don't. But again, I'll keep reading. This person says, I know I will also forgive a friend if they made a minor mistake like this. Minor in the sense that something major would be more serious, like the R word, like RAP, like, that word, harassment of the inappropriate kind, and ending someone's, like harming somebody to the point that it's detrimental. I'm not trying to say these words because I don't want them to be flagged, but you guys are kind of getting where I'm coming from. Taking somebody illegally, these are the words that they're using, So they're saying, like, if you do something serious, then they wouldn't forgive you. But something small, like calling me out of my name, embarrassing me in the public, that's minor. See, this is subjective. It just depends on, like, who you are. It just depends on who you are. Some people feel like that is enough to be canceled and out of their life. Some people feel like, oh, that's something we can talk about. To each his own. Moving forward, another person says, in the end of the day, this is an issue regarding two friends. They talked it out and now it's resolved. People can say friends call each other things, but Jay gave no space for Jamie to defend herself when he did it in front of his audience and behind her back. She has had her own issues with her image. We live and learn. Hope Jay the best either way. I guess she's saying, like, hope for the best for him. And that's true. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if he would have said it while she was, like, included in the stream, or if she was in the comments, or if this was, like, like somewhere where she was right there where she could defend herself and, like, immediately check him on it, then people wouldn't have been so mad. But it's the fact that she has to probably find out from fans, like, hey, did you hear what Jay said about you? Come over here and look at this. Like, it was just in bad taste the way that he said it. He knew it was distasteful, and that's why when he responded to the backlash, he used that word, because he knew it was not good. And the fact that he wants to lie and say that he didn't know, but then when he said it, he was just like, oh, now that I'm not in K-pop, I can finally say this. Like, he used that word for a reason. He knew what that word was. He knew what it was coined as, and he thought that he was savvy and quirky for saying that. And I don't know how he didn't think that he was going to get backlash. It's just weird. Moving on, somebody else says, he's so lucky to have a friend like Jamie, though. True. Another one says, loved her snapback. The girls watching a male idol stream sure were a bunch of incels, as she said thirsty enough to not call him out, because you can sure not, it's not men watching a male idol stream. Okay, I don't even understand what you're saying. I guess they're saying that the girls are the ones who are watching Jay's stream, who are a bunch of incels. Um and she said that those are the she's saying this person is saying that Jamie said that these girls are thirsty enough to not call him out on it, because and you know that it's they're basically saying you know that it's not guys watching his stream because men wouldn't watch another male idol stream. Okay, that's not true. I'm pretty sure Jay has tons of male idols. Probably the ratio of men to women is probably lesser than, but I'm pretty sure that it's not all females. But I can see why people are saying that he's having like these diehard defenders, because it's probably a bunch of women or a bunch of girls. I really feel like most K-pop stands are like the younger crowd these days, but like it's probably just a bunch of young girls who are just blinded by his smile, because he does have a really good smile, and they're just probably thinking like, oh, he could do no wrong, or oh, it's just a joke, and blah 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 blah, and this and that. So whatever to them. Your comment was so confusing, but I think I was able to break it down. Anyways, moving on. Somebody else says he absolutely meant what he said, but if Jamie forgives him, then we all should move on. Time will only tell if he changes or not. This, I completely agree with this comment. Who cares? Like, if she does forgive him, that's not my place to like be mad at her about or still be mad at him. I cannot support him and I can cancel him personally because of this if I want to. Honestly, I don't even think I was gonna check for him anyways if this situation had come on. This situation doesn't alter the way I was gonna support him, because I wasn't planning on checking for him like that anyways. Like if he keeps making headlines, then I'm gonna keep, like, he's giving me content. So if he keeps doing these controversial things, then I'm just gonna keep making videos on him. But otherwise, I don't check for this man. It's when his name is brought up across my screen in the news and in the blogs, and that's where I'm like, oh, okay, here's another video. Like, so he can keep doing these things if he want to. It makes no difference to me. Somebody else says, true friends call each other worse and laugh it off and joke about it because they know they don't actually mean it, but it's just for the jokes. And that's what I was saying in my last video. But again, she was hurt. Her response, her initial response, those tweets that she deleted, was her being sad and upset. She was not feeling it. She didn't like the attention that she was getting from him and the things that he said. And she's already been dealing with people like being very rude to her about her body and stuff like that. I remember back in the day, like they were talking about her when she was a part of, what was that group? She was a part of that group, that JYP group with you know what? It's not coming to me right now, but she was a part of that group. You remember they did that song Sugar? I don't know. I'm not going to rack my brain over it for, because I'm not trying to have this video like run too long. But basically, she was getting like a lot of flack even back then when she was a teenager over like her body and stuff like that. And then to this day, she's still getting flack about it from people that are supposed to be close to her. Like if I were her, I'd be so tired of people talking about my body. Like, could you guys just relax? Like, women just cannot be left alone. Like, men's bodies do not get talked about like that, the way that women are just like objectified, and it's just sick. Somebody else says, I'm glad he apologized, but I hope people know he's done a lot more stuff than just this. It's sad to see what kind of person he's become. Oh, yeah. That's why I'm like, I feel like this kind of like was the final nail in the coffin for a lot of people. A lot of people are just like, yep, done with Jay, done with Jay, done with Jay. And it's just like, it's sad because he's just digging his own hole at this point. Someone else said, glad that Jay really came up to Jamie. I understand Jay in the sense that those types of banters are normal among friends. Same, I understand that too. But what's bad is he said it in a very wrong manner, making it sound like he means it, even though it's only a banter. Hope he learns from this, like, for real. Again, like, even if he was joking, you cannot joke with people who don't joke that way with you. If you have a friend and you guys do not have a previous history of like taking it that far with your joking to each other, like, it's okay to tease one another here and there. But if you don't tease in that way, and if you don't call each other literal names, then like you have to be ready for this type of backlash. And the fact that he did it publicly, and like the other person said, he didn't even give her room to defend herself. Like, what did he expect? Like, it's not right. I don't know. Somebody else says, guys, I swear Jay is a nice person, and I'm sure he doesn't meant the thought thingy. Not gonna lie. At first, I thought that means baddie too. Pretty sure most of you know K-pop idols don't really know outside world. Jay won't be that kind of person. Met him in real life, and he is really nice. I'm glad he talked to Jamie though. Please forgive our Jay. I had to be dramatic because okay, you met this guy one time in real life and you think that you know him. Like, you don't know him like that, sweetie. You met the him at work. If you met Jay, you met Jay at work. And if you met him when he wasn't at work, it's a miracle that he was nice to you. You know, because I don't know. He just gives me vibes that he's just like a total a-hole. Pretentious. I don't know. That's just me. Someone else says, so glad she forgave and talked to him. Another one says, why is the headline lying though? She didn't say they had a long talk, just a talk. I know, right? That's why when I get these articles, like I make my own script. I don't even like copy and paste unless it's like literal quotes from the celebrity or idol. And I don't copy their titles. I make my own titles because I know that a lot of people do stuff for clickbait. You know, we want catchy titles, but don't lie. Like, it didn't, they might have had a long conversation, but how are we to know that? We don't know that they had a long conversation, but considering the situation that happened and she poured out her feelings to him and then he responded with, you know, his apology, it probably was a long conversation. You can kind of infer that it was a long conversation. I'm sure he didn't go all that way to her house just to leave in 10 minutes. Like, no, they probably sat, had a good time, talked, and then they probably hung out for a while. Like, who knows? People, I swear, you guys are funny. Someone else said, first time I heard of thought, learned a new word today. A lot of people don't know this word. That's funny. Y'all don't listen to American rap music because that word was like really popular back in like a couple years ago. Like people always say that. Another person says, I guess he can fade into obscurity with a clear conscience now. Like maybe I should do because this website is probably giving my phone a virus. Bye. Ooh. Okay. Not an all K-pop fan, I see. And then the last one says, she overreacted, baby. Love Jay. How did she overreact? Oh my god. So yeah, this comment section is very mixed. We got some people defending Jay, some people saying that. And it sucks because he brought her into this situation and I bet she's gotten so much flack for it. I bet that she's had his fans like coming to attack her and saying, you did too much, you overreacted, he was just playing, you shouldn't be mad. Like, oh my god, she probably felt like it was her personal business to address it so that people wouldn't keep coming at her like she's still mad. That's probably why she made those tweets addressing it a second time so that people will know that she's no longer like on that with him. Like, you guys need to leave Jamie alone. She didn't ask to be brought up. He brought her up for no reason. Again, I think for clout, but I don't know why he brought her up. Like, she didn't deserve that type of attention. The fact that this has been dragging on for weeks is just sick. So I'm just glad that they're over it. Hopefully this is the last video that I have to make on this situation and everybody can just move on. But it is interesting seeing you guys just mixed reviews. I had a feeling it was going to be mixed reviews because I know that he has a lot of female fans. But again, I'm not buying that he didn't know what the word meant. I feel like that's a lie, and that's such a good manipulation tactic to get her to forgive him if that's what he said, that he didn't know what it meant. Like, are you serious? I hope she sees this video, knows that, or at least I just hope that she does her own critical thinking in the end. But even if she does, she's already accepted him back, so that's on her. But what do you guys think of this situation? Should Jamie have accepted his apology? Do you think it was genuine? Like, do you think it was a genuine apology? And what would you have done if you were her? Like, if you had a friend that put you in a situation like that out of nowhere? And also, do you and your friends use vulgar words to each other? Like, do you guys play around like that? Like, I'm just so interested in knowing what you guys' perspective is on this. Other than that, this video has run on for far too long. That's it for this video, you guys. I will see you on the next one. Salam.